Welcome back to History Stories. I'm Dr. Megan Easley-Walsh, an author, scholar, and writing consultant. Last season, we discussed my novel Framed in episode 9, exploring topics like art that was banned and what happens when artists themselves are framed for their ideologies. Favorite cities to visit in Ireland is Kilkenny. There's a large medieval castle, narrow streets, a host of wonderful bookshops, beautiful churches, delicious food, and a cathedral with a round tower. In the first episode of this season, I read to you the opening passage of What Edward Heard, and it mentions the Campanile in Venice. The Campanile is a bell tower, and the Irish round towers are thought to have been bell towers, calling the faithful to prayer across the settlement. It is likely that a large bell that could be picked up by hand rather than a swinging bell were used in these towers. Examples of these bells can be viewed in the National Museum of Archaeology in Dublin. One of the most famous round towers in Ireland is that of Glendalough in the Wicklow Mountains. There are several hiking trails with varying difficulties in the area. A popular route is to begin in the monastic village, where you will find the round tower, and to walk along the lake shore, eventually coming to a second lake with dramatic sweeping views. The centering of the lake between the mountains is one sort of framing. Likewise, the location of the monastic village functions as a well-framed display of history and of tradition. In Irish, Glendalough means Valley of the Two Lakes. The mountains as a framing tool is something that Anna in Framed would have known intimately as she lived among the towering Swiss Alps. Back in Kilkenny, the medieval exterior of the castle remains, while the interiors received a Victorian upgrade. One highlight among many is a beautiful, high-vaulted long gallery with an impressive marble fireplace and a host of golden-framed paintings. Each painting draws the eyes, unified with this golden thread of the frames. But that's not all. The entire room becomes a frame, with each painting set against the vivid red of the walls and the intricate painted ceiling, with the skylight in the center overhead. The light streams through, down into the room, illuminating the space and making the polished wooden floors sparkle. For Anna in Framed, Switzerland becomes a frame for her life, separating her from Nazi Germany just across the border. And yet, a painting is not hidden by a frame, but all the more highlighted. This is what happens to Anna's own work as a forger. In order to preserve what she believes in, she faces dangerous scrutiny. Anna must hold on to her courage and believe in her talent to have a sturdy frame of conviction and strength to stand on in the midst of war. Here's more about Framed. World War II Switzerland is neutral, but Anna isn't. Her mother's German, her friends are Jewish, and when she turns forger, she risks being framed. Anna Schmidt loves Germany and despises Hitler. The ruthless German dictator has banned much of the art that Anna adores. Picking up her paintbrush, she preserves stolen Jewish treasures by embarking on a mission of danger. Under the cover of darkness, Anna crosses the border into Germany and evades Nazis. Her paintings must fill one criterion: perfection. Anything less will capture the unwanted attention of the notorious Nazi examiner and risk Anna's life. When the frame maker arrives on the mountain, he has eyes only for Anna. Eyes that notice something is terribly wrong when Anna goes missing. Playing both sides of the border is a perilous game, one that Anna can't fail at, or everyone she loves in Germany and in Switzerland risk elimination. In episode 1 of this second season of History Stories, we explored in what ways paintings, their artists, and the viewers interact. There's interplay between these actors in a similar way to how authors interact with their readers and how both experience the characters. Likewise, characters and their perspectives offer dimensionality. In this first chapter of Framed, Anna and Herr Conrad appear in opposition in World War II Switzerland. And now, as is tradition for this season, let's end at the beginning. Anna, 1943, Bern, Switzerland. They say that it's easier to tell the truth than to remember the lies, but that isn't true. The lies scare you, taunting you, convincing you that you will be caught. The truth hurts you, gnawing away, achingly so. They, whoever they are, say a lot of things, like Switzerland is neutral. But it's not. No, not really anyway. They make it sound like we don't care. Neutral. It doesn't matter one way or the other. But that isn't true. We do care. We care so much. Neutral. It sounds like we're hiding. Switzerland is hemmed in by the mountains, away from all of that. It's like we're in the corners, hidden under the edges of the frame. But we're not. We're there, in the middle of the canvas, and the frame's getting smaller. There had been little protest this morning when Herr Conrad had rung the bell and announced that he was there to requisition a few needed necessities. Frau Leibniz had looked surprised as she raised an eyebrow at the words that were not at all a request, but then she'd merely nodded. Yes, she knew that he would come. They all somehow seemed to know. When he'd announced that it was a painting and not the lady of the house that he was after, relief had flooded her eyes. She was lucky, for now at least. Reclining in his seat on the train, he nodded to himself. It was better when they didn't protest. He preferred it that way. Not everyone was as difficult as Anna. In these opening words of Chapter 1, the stage is set. A stage, by its nature, is a bit like a frame as well, with the curtains on each side and the attention drawn to the actors. Anna is unable to ignore the peril just across the border. But as I mentioned above, a frame does not hide, but rather spotlights. Herr Conrad is definitely aware of Anna. She'll have to remember the entire point of a frame, harnessing focus. Perhaps, like Anna, the truth of all that is happening seems unbearable at times. The idea of a single man holding so much power, wielding it against those less fortunate, is no singular occurrence in history, unfortunately. Yet Anna persevered. She was willing to harness her intentions to what she could with the skills that she had. What acts as a frame in your own life? What are you spotlighting? Thank you for joining me for this episode of History Stories, and I look forward to joining you for the next episode.